Los Tres. The Three Men, quote, are a Chilean rock band composed of 3 members, a rock-folk singer and 2 jazzmen. It was one of the noted bands in the Chilean 90s. Together with Ley and Lucybell, Los Tres recorded 9 albums during their first period, from 1989 until 2000. Starting with Los Tres, a jazz-folk-rock blending. In 1991, the band dissolved in 2000 and its members continued their musical careers in personal projects. During the following 5 years, in February 2006, Álvaro Henríquez, Ángel Parra, and Roberto Lindl announced the reunion of the band without former drummer Francisco Molina and the recording of their 2006 studio album, Hágalo Usted Mismo. The band's newest album is Coliumo. It was released in October 2010. Introduction. During the 90s, massive commercial entertainment, and only bits of culture and art, rose immensely in Chile. Prior to that, most left-wing or anti-military cultural expressions were repressed for almost 20 years. See Chile under Pinochet. In this context appeared Los Tres, whose work is based, in contrast to most rock-pop groups from this era, on the folk and popular music of Chile with added rock and jazz influences. The band's attitude was to reject commercial pop, rock and easy trends. Furthermore, their music and mostly the lyrics, though not following the style, can be considered as grunge in spirit. Given this, it was against all odds for them to succeed. History. In 1982, 3 guys from Concepcion, Álvaro Henríquez, Roberto Lindl, and Pancho Molina started a band called Los Dick Stones, whose set list was based on songs by Chuck Berry, Elvis Presley, and Gene Vincent. They quickly became very popular in universities, bars, and peñas around the southern city of Concepcion. Given their ambition to achieve success in the Chilean mainstream, they decided to move to the capital city of Santiago and change their name to Los Tres. In 1988, Ángel Parra joined the band, and even though Los Tres is Spanish for the 3, they decided to keep their name. In 1991, with the alternative Alerce music label, Los Tres recorded their first album, Los Tres. Despite being only a moderately successful album with songs that mixed rock, jazz, and blues, Los Tres nevertheless became an important album in the early 90s. The single "A Name of Ilanchu" and its low-budget music video became very popular in Chile. The lyrics in some songs of this album, like in La Primera Vez and Flores Secas, talk strongly about their opposition to the Pinochet coup and the human rights abuses during the military regime. The second album of the band was called Che Remata el Siglo. In 1993, now signed with the Sony music label, the band achieved a much better quality LP. This album showed more rock elements in the singles No Sabes Que Desperdicio Tengo en el Alma and El Aval, but without straying too far from their blues influences in songs like Son Que Estabas Justo, Sobre Me and the B.B. King's cover The Thrill Is Gone. La Espada en la Pared, 1995, was the third album of the band. This album was very popular and the most important of their career. Singles like Dejate Caer and La Espada en la Pared were popular in all of Latin America, thanks to the diffusion on MTV Latino, and became a gold record in 46 days. One of the popular songs in La Espada en la Pared was the remake of Buddy Richards' cover 1960 rock tune Tu Carino Shami Va, where Buddy himself did some backup vocals. The popularity achieved by La Espada y la Pared was an important motivation for the MTV network, who invited Los Tres to perform an unplugged session in Miami. This was recorded on the 14th of September 1995. with the participation of the Chilean musicians and friends of the band Tono Ristici and QTASTE. The performance was just a few months after the death of Roberto Parra, an important Chilean folk musician and an inspiration for Álvaro and the band in general. Therefore, the guys decided to dedicate the Unplugged to El Tío Roberto memories, and played two cuecas choras, El Arrepentido and La Vida que yo he pasado, and the popular foxtrot, Quien es la que viene allí, composed by him but actually a plagiarism of the American popular song Yes Sir, That's My Baby song. Music by Walter Donaldson and original lyrics by Gus Kahn and sung by Lee Morse in 1925. This was the first time a Chilean band recorded an Unplugged with MTV. Unplugged, released in 1996, was such a success in Chile and Latin America. The LP became 4 platinum album in Chile in just 3 months, and the band promoted the LP with Unplugged concerts in the Teatro California in Santiago, with guests musicians like Tono Ristici, Pepe Fuentes, Ray Benito, QTASTE, and Javiera Parra, Angel's sister. The following years, Los Tres began a short folk-based era. They performed in February 1996 as a guest band in the Vina del Mar International Music Festival. The show began with Álvaro imitating the characteristic voice of Antonio Vodanovic, the festival's MC. They played a lot of cuecas by Roberto Parra and received the Gaviota de Plata, an award that is reserved only for the festival's music contest. But the crowd insisted strongly until the band received it. The band began a new traditional event during the 1996 Chilean National Independence holiday, on the 18th of September, by founding a fonda called Yin Fonda, a pun on Jane Fonda, in the Park Plaza Nuno in Santiago, where they performed during several days folk music with friends. The records of this event were released in an LP called La Yin Fonda later that year. During the following years they organized more fondas, but with time these became more commercial and not as popular as Yin Fonda. In 1998 the band recorded Peneta, an album with cuecas, choras and jazz huachaca, featuring Lalo Parra, brother of Roberto. After the great success of Los Tres with La Espada and La Perden Unplugged, the following studio album with new material came only in 1998. FOME, named after a Chilean word that means boring, didn't achieve the popularity of their preceding albums. The lyrics this time were more poetic and, with the exception of La Tour de Babel and Restaurant, not so easy to understand. During these years Parra and Lindl started a parallel jazz project called Angel Parra Trio, with the jazz drummer Moncho Perez, and Molina started the jazz band Los Titulares. Both bands started having great popularity into the Chilean jazz movement, and this summed up to create internal problems in Los Tres because of the directions that Álvaro wanted for the band. Their last studio album was released in 1999, La Sangre en el Cuerpo, and didn't enjoy great success in Chile, even though the album is very different from when the band began. Great songs like Feria Verdadera, La Sangre en el Cuerpo and the instrumental El Rey del Mariscal showed Álvaro and the band in a great musical moment that, unfortunately, the Chilean mainstream didn't appreciate. Personal differences, the poor sales of the latest LPs, and the increasing interest in the personal projects of individual members culminated with the band announcing their separation in 2000. They performed several goodbye concerts in Santiago, Concepcion, and other Chilean cities. One of these concerts, in Teatro Providencia, the 27th of May 2000, was recorded and later that year released as the live album Freno de Mano. Aftermath. Up to February 2007. 2 years after the breakup of the band. 2002. A DVD, Vermouth and Noche, was released. It included part of the history of the band, some original video clips and live performances. Álvaro started in 2001 a band called Los Petanellas, which released an album in 2002 and dissolved in 2004. Later, he started a solo career. Ángel Parra Trio has recorded in total 8 albums. After Los Tres, he issued 1 live album in 2001 and 2 studio albums in 2003 and 2005. Ángel Parra Trio 1992, Patana 1995, Piscola Standard 1996, Tequila 1998, No Junta Ni Pega 2000, La Hora Feliz 2002, Vamos Que Puede 2003, La Playa Solitaria 2005. Los Titulares have released 3 LPs. Los Titulares album in 1999, El Perseguidor in 2001, and Bipolar in 2005. In 2006, 3 of the band's 4 members announced a reunion and a new album. Álvaro Henríquez, Ángel Parra, and Roberto Lindl are working on the recording of the 12 new songs for the album, due out around August 2006. In February 2007, the band played at the Vina del Mar International Song Festival, Chile, playing to a crowd of 15,000 attendees at the most important Latin American music festival. The band received multiple standing ovations and were awarded the Antorcha de Plata, Silver Torch, the Antorcha de Oro, Golden Torch, and ultimately the Gaviota de Plata, the Silver Seagull, the festival's highest honor. Lineup: Álvaro Henríquez, voice and rhythm guitar; Roberto Titi Lindl, bass guitar, double bass, accordion, backing vocals; Ángel Parra, starting in 1988, lead guitar, lap steel, backing vocals; Francisco Molina, until May 2000, drums and percussions. Discography: 1991, Los Tres; 1993, Se Remata el Siglo; 1995, La Espada and La Ped; 1995, Unplugged; 1996, La Yin Fonda, live with various artists; 1997, FOME; 1998, Panetta, with Eduardo Lalo Parra; 1999, La Sangre en el Cuerpo; 2000, Freno de Mano, live; 2006, Camino, single; 2006, Grande Éxitos, compilation; 2006, Hágalo Usted Mismo, July 2006; 2007, Arena, live; 2010, Coliumo, Los Tres, official site.